Hey there, Redemption Army, and welcome back to our weekly chat. Today, I'm going to be talking about a topic that I've been getting a lot of questions about in particular, so I figured it was time to make a video. We're going to be talking today about dating again after a narcissistic relationship. I'm going to share with you my top 5 pieces of advice that I wish that I had known before I got back into the dating scene after my narcissistic relationship. It's tricky terrain to say the least, so grab your coffee, sit back, and let's dive in. Before we get into the full nitty-gritty of this, let me talk to you about the very first hurdle that I had to overcome before I could even get into a healthy relationship. My therapist once asked me a question, and she was like, Trey, if you accomplished everything that you want to in your life, but you don't have a partner, does it have less meaning? At the time, my answer was yes. And the problem with this is that I was associating my own personal value with if I was in a relationship or not. And this was the foundation of my codependency. We are relational beings, and there's nothing wrong with wanting a relationship, but we should not be putting so much weight into it that it affects how we view ourselves and our own self-value. So now let's get into it, but stick around to the end because I have one last warning to give you that my therapist told me about. And if she hadn't, I probably would have sabotaged my relationship with my fiance. So first, let me take you back to a time when I was just coming out of this toxic relationship. It was tough, to say the least. I thought I was ready to start dating again, but yeah, I was wrong. And not only did this end up hurting me, this really ended up hurting other people in the process. It's crucial to understand that healing does take time, and it's okay if you think you're ready, but then you realize that you need more space to yourself. So allow yourself to heal before you start diving back into the dating pool. And also, don't let anyone try to convince you that you're ready when you aren't. Now, one of the most important pieces of advice that I can give you is to learn how to manage your triggers before you even think about dating again. Narcissistic relationships, they leave us scarred, and there's certain situations that trigger painful memories, and you need to take the time to explore what your triggers are and work on your own coping mechanisms so that will actually help you navigate this in potential challenges in your dating world. Now, if you need some quick advice on managing triggers, watch this quick video when you're done with this one, and that's kind of where I walk you through a process of how to break your triggers down. Unfortunately, when you start dating again, you may have a whole new set of triggers that you don't even realize that they're there until you take this step. So learn how to manage them now so that way you can manage them in the future. And when you are ready to start dating again, remember not to spill all the beans about your past relationship right off the bat. Trust needs to be earned, and not everyone deserves to hear all of your vulnerable stories at the very beginning. I made this mistake at first when I started dating again. I told them way too much, way too fast. And let's be honest, no one really wants to hear you talk about your ex all the time. So what I started to say was very general. I just said it was a pretty toxic pairing. I was cheated on. I was lied to a lot. I learned a lot of lessons, and from right now, I would just prefer you to work on a need-to-know basis with that. If they don't honor this for you, that, by the way, is a huge red flag. They shouldn't be continually prying you about a relationship that caused you trauma. Let things unfold naturally, and when you feel comfortable to share your experiences, then you can share them when you feel like you can trust them. This is your story to tell when you are ready, and no one has the right to force it out of you until you're ready. Pay close attention to how your potential partner is talking about their past relationships. Are they always playing the victim? Are they always blaming others? Are they showing any accountability? These might be potential red flags of toxic behaviors. Look for someone who takes responsibility for their actions and also shows empathy towards others, because if they're not showing it towards other people, they're probably not going to show it to you. Now, this one is my absolute favorite. If you take nothing else from this video, take this one. Before you start dating again, set up your non-negotiables and preferences. Understand what qualities and values are essential to you in a partner and in relationships, because having these clear boundaries will help you avoid falling back into unhealthy patterns and make it easier to spot potential red flags. And if we have non-negotiables and preferences when we're looking for a job, then why would we not do this when we're looking for a life partner? But we rarely do take the time to sit down and be very specific about what it is that we're looking for, which is why we can accidentally end up settling. Remember to take things slow and also be very patient and kind with yourself. You're not in any sort of race to find a life partner, and it's okay to take breaks when you need to and focus on building that strong foundation with yourself before you're seeking someone else to even join your life's journey, because you need to create your own peace bubble. And once you create that, you become very protective of it, and you only invite certain people into that. And if the person that's coming into your life is not helping you take your life to the next level, then by default, they're actually taking away from your life.